It is 2 in the morning. Your bedroom is completely dark, completely silent. Then a low, rhythmic rumbling starts echoing from the foot of your mattress. Your dog is stretched out on their side, fast asleep, snoring louder than most grown humans. You can hear the slight, ragged wheeze in their throat. Feel the faint vibration through the floorboards. Watch the heavy rise and fall of their chest. You smile in the dark. Pull your blanket up to your chin. Think nothing of it. Maybe you even grab your phone the next morning to record a 10-second video because it sounds adorable, hilarious, perfect content for your friends. It looks like the ultimate picture of peaceful rest. Welcome to the mind behind the paws, but what is actually happening inside your dog's respiratory system in that exact moment is anything but peaceful. The standard explanation is that a snoring dog is simply experiencing deep, heavy sleep. Most owners assume it is a charming personality trait, a harmless quirk of their breed, or proof of a tiring day at the park. People say that as long as the dog looks comfortable, the noise does not matter. This logic ignores basic mammalian biology. If an airway is healthy and unobstructed, oxygen passes into the lungs virtually silent. Wild canids like wolves and coyotes never snore. A noisy sleeper would attract predators and compromise the entire pack. They rely on stealth for survival. The sound you are hearing is not relaxation. It is the acoustic evidence of a structural failure. In veterinary respiratory science, chronic snoring is recognized as the primary symptom of obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. This condition occurs when the muscles of the upper airway relax excessively during sleep, causing soft tissues in the throat to collapse inward. Studies utilizing whole-body plethysmography show this obstruction creates a dangerous bottleneck for airflow. When the airway collapses, the brain detects an acute drop in blood oxygen and forces a sudden micro-awakening just to initiate a single desperate breath. Think about human toddlers. Pediatric sleep specialists discovered that toddlers with sleep apnea due to enlarged tonsils exhibit severe behavioral issues, extreme impulsivity, and symptoms that perfectly mimic ADHD. The exact same mechanism happens in your dog. Snoring is not a sign of rest. It is the sound of survival. These micro-awakenings happen in fractions of a second. The dog never fully opens their eyes. You never realize they woke up, but the damage to their nervous system is already compounding. This is where the situation shifts from a mechanical problem to a systemic chemical crisis, because this is not just psychology, it is chemistry. When the airway collapses and blood oxygen drops, the dog enters intermittent hypoxia. The brain interprets this lack of oxygen as an imminent fatal threat, immediately activating the sympathetic nervous system and overriding the parasympathetic rest and digest state. This triggers the amygdala to send a massive panic signal, activating the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, known as the HPA axis. This alarm system floods the bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline. Instead of resting, the dog's body is chemically prepared for violent fight or flight, while completely unconscious. The loop is vicious. Hypoxia triggers stress hormones. Stress hormones spike the heart rate. The elevated heart rate prevents deep sleep. You are watching them sleep, but their biology is running a marathon. The very moments designed to heal and repair their tissue are actively causing systemic inflammation. And because chronic cortisol suppresses the immune system, a dog with severe sleep apnea is far more likely to develop recurrent skin infections, gastrointestinal issues, and unexplainable allergies. To understand why this happens, we must look beyond modern living rooms. We must look at genetics and the deep history of canine domestication. For over 30,000 years, the skull of the wolf was perfectly engineered for respiratory efficiency, long snout, expansive nasal cavities, a soft palate that fit perfectly over the trachea. This anatomy allowed for silent breathing, optimal thermal regulation, and incredible cardiovascular endurance. A wolf could run for miles and sleep silently in the snow without struggling for a single breath. But human selective breeding altered this architecture in a blink of evolutionary time. We created brachycephalic breeds, pugs, French bulldogs, Boston terriers, English bulldogs. We compressed the skull to look flatter and more human-like, targeting neotenic, baby-like features that trigger our nurturing instincts. Here is the devastating problem. We shrank the bone, But we did not shrink the soft tissue. The tongue, the elongated soft palate, the laryngeal sacules remained the same volume, forced into a fraction of their original space. The snoring you hear is the sound of thousands of years of evolution colliding with human aesthetic preferences. Your dog sleeps 14 hours a day, but their brain operates on a severe sleep deficit. The constant micro-awakenings prevent them from ever reaching REM and deep slow-wave sleep stages. They are stuck in fragmented cycles that provide zero neurological restoration, and this introduces a much darker consequence. Recent neurobiological studies link fragmented sleep and chronic hypoxia directly to canine cognitive dysfunction, the canine equivalent of Alzheimer's disease. During deep sleep, the brain utilizes the glymphatic system to wash away toxic metabolic proteins, including beta amyloid plaques. When sleep apnea interrupts this cleaning cycle, these toxins accumulate within the neural pathways of the cerebral cortex. A dog that snores heavily for years is at higher risk of developing cognitive decline, spatial disorientation, behavioral reactivity, and memory loss as a senior. This is not just theory. This is a life-saving diagnostic tool. Watch how your dog positions their body at night. Dogs with severe sleep apnea exhibit a compensatory behavior known clinically as chin resting. They seek out a hard toy, a stiff pillow, or the elevated arm of a couch. They sleep with their head propped up and neck extended. They do this to stretch their trachea open, using gravity to fight the collapsing tissue. I cannot tell you I am suffocating, so I show you with my body. You might also notice intense daytime lethargy, frequent panting in air-conditioned rooms, or sudden pacing at night as they struggle to breathe. Chronic oxygen deprivation damages the cardiovascular system, leading to high blood pressure, pulmonary hypertension, and an enlarged heart. If you are using a standard neck collar instead of a chest harness on walks, you might be making the obstruction worse, applying pressure directly to their already compromised windpipe. Your dog does not have human words. Their behavior is the only way they can tell you they are struggling. The next time you hear that familiar rumble from the foot of the bed, do not smile, turn off the lamp, and go back to sleep. That sound is a collision of human-guided evolution, compromised anatomy, and a fragile nervous system fighting for oxygen. They endure the silent exhaustion simply because they want to stay by your side. That is not tolerance. That is love. Protect their rest. Talk to your veterinarian about respiratory health, monitor their body weight, explore surgical or lifestyle solutions to keep their airway clear. If this video changed how you look at your dog's sleep, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. Does your dog sleep with their chin propped up on objects? And if you want to understand why your dog shakes uncontrollably during a storm, watch our next video, The Psychology of the Dog That Shakes with Fireworks. It's not being dramatic. It connects directly to the nervous system secrets we uncovered today.